But who is chosen is the question.
And we will bring
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen.
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
Set up the watchman mean put the nation in order.
So now when we read in the description of Christ, now you got a better aspect. He had white woolly hair. His eyes is red. Why? Because he drank wine. A lot of brothers, when they drink wine, their eyes turn red after a while. That doesn't mean they're drunk. Because Christ never got drunk. Read on.
Verse 15.
Come on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And it said his feet like was unto fine brass. What color is brass, bro? Brown. This is that can't even be argued. This is right. So now, when you look at this man, right? His feet wasn't brown. No. But we're going to tell you about him in a minute. Read on.
As if they were burnt in the furnace.
As if they were burned in a furnace. So if you take the brown, burn in a furnace, now you get a very dark-skinned individual. That's Christ. Now, who's this man? This man is called Caesar Borgia. He was the second son of Pope Alexander VI out of Rome. So when they now had ran the Israelites out, okay, where you from, brother? Where your family's from? Yeah. Barbados? Okay, so you from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay? So now when our people used to run Europe in the from the 1100s, around that time, to about the early 1400s or so. And at that time, that's what you was known as the Dark Ages. That's why they call the Dark Ages. Because you heard of the Moors before? The Moors were in Spain, all of these, and this is what our people were running. So now when they moved our people out, they had to have a renaissance. So the white people mean a renaissance. They said, listen, this is going to be the renaissance of Jesus Christ. So they had Leonardo da Vinci create what? Pictures of the new Christ. And they used Caesar Borgia as what? A model. So that's why you have Jesus Christ looking like this now, because he's actually patterned after this man. And that man is a homosexual. That man is a pedophile. That man is incestuous and stuff with his own sister. So this is what they use as the new Jesus Christ. You understand? So when you go into church and you're hearing, oh, we don't know what Jesus looked like, that's a damn lie, because exactly. You see? So this is the King James Version Bible that we all have in our homes. So we don't have to go crazy. This is it. I got it on my phone. Exactly. You understand? And now you got that pamphlet. What we do in that is just to show you certain little scriptures. But you can go online and check everything, right? So now, why are we saying that we're the Israelites? Why are we saying that we're the Hebrews? And I say we, I mean you too, right? Why are we saying that? Because in the book of Deuteronomy, it has all of these curses that the Lord said should be a sign unto us to let us know who we are. Let's get that, okay? Because that's the only way we're going to know. We can't just wake up and say, oh yeah, I feel like today I want to be an Israelite. You got to be born in, not sworn in. You know what I mean? Like a Catholic. Oh, now I'm the Catholic. I'm with you. No. You got to be born into this. And your family, y'all from the Caribbean. My family's from the Caribbean. Okay, so that was a slave trade. Everybody knows that. Okay? When you talk about Puerto Rico and all of the so-called Hispanic countries, they went there of their own volition after they had gotten liberty and took ships and went over there. But then the conquistadors came there and put them into slavery. So all of our people have been in slavery. Okay? So the so-called Hispanics, the so-called blacks, so-called Native American Indians, we're one family, known as the Israelites, with different tribes. And then when they split us up and gave us a language, okay, this one speaks Spanish. You're going to speak French, you Haiti, and you're going to speak English. Now we feel like we're different people. So now we come here, oh, cat, I ain't messing with that cat. Haitian, I ain't messing with that. Hit it. Because we destroyed. But check this out. Give me 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon these days and overtake thee.
All these curses shall do what? All these curses what?
Overtake thee.
Shall come upon what?
which come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, shall come upon you and overtake you. So now the Lord is saying, listen, if you don't keep the commandments that I put forth, that I got curses that are going to come upon your people and overtake your people, meaning that no matter where you go, just like what's known as the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Hispanic tribes, they left and went into the Caribbean islands, where they were alone. Nobody was there with them. But what? The Lord sent the conquistadors after them because they didn't keep the commandments. So that's why we're going through. So now let's get some of the curses. Give me jump to 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So now, what's your name, bro? Miguel? Miguel? Okay, Miguel. Read that again. I want him to read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So now, if I say your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people, what does that sound like? Right, they're giving it to somebody else, right? To another people. What does that mean? What you think that means? Right. Exactly. They're giving it to another race, right? Okay, read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
So now when they're taken from you, given to these other people and to other races, all you can do is look and cry, but you can't do anything about it. What that sound like to you? The question is, did that happen? Did that happen in history? Do you know of any historical book? Exactly. All right? That's right. And breaking up all the families. So now what we're reading here is that. Okay? Give me 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. So now the Lord is saying that you shall become a proverb, an astonishment, a byword among all the nations that's going to get led. So like your forefathers, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Dominican Republic. But guess what? In all of those nations, our people are known as what? Minorities. They're not as smart as we're not just like these are what? So-called bywords, so proverbs. A byword would be Puerto Rico. Because what is Puerto Rico? A rich port. Nobody's a rich port. These are the bywords. So in other words, they're calling you outside of what your natural name is, which would be Benjamin, which would be Ephraim, which would be Asher, right? Which would be Simeon. You understand? These are the things that what? We have to now come back to our understanding and knowledge. But give me verse 48. Let me show you something. We're jumping through it quick because I want to let you know that when you're hearing these curses, only our people it happens to. I mean, that's plain. That's not a lie. And we're going to show you something real crazy in a minute. Come on.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Stop. It said, therefore shall you serve your enemies. So now the people who put you in slavery, what do they consider? What did the Bible say? Read it again.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy,
right,
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Stop. So now the person who put you in slavery, what did God call him? He said that's your enemy. Period. Okay? This is what we're trying to make our people understand. That the reason why you can never get right when that, what do you call it, when you unite with the other people or integrate, that's the word. The reason that is because the Most High, that's not according to the Most High's will. You're never supposed to integrate. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But let's read on. I'm not going to jump in the middle. Read on.
In hunger and in thirst.
Right. So in hunger and in thirst, meaning you have to work for what? For that slave master to be hungry, right? Meaning he feed you, drink,
and in nakedness.
And for your clothing. Come on.
And want of all things.
And the want of all things. Come on.
He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So now it's, right, that's the chains, right? He's going to put that yoke of iron on your neck, but then it was a time when the yoke came off. But why, when them yokes came off, did your family run back to where they got you from? No. His family didn't run back. Where's your family from? Puerto Rico. When the conquistadors came and took over your family, had them in chains and all that, because that's reality. See this right here? This is so-called Hispanics right here. This scene, this particular scene right here is from Peru, right? This is King Atahualpa right here, right? So this is when the so-called Catholics came and tried to make that man bow down to them. So exactly. So this happened to the so-called Hispanics, and this is why you speak Spanish today. This is why you think that you're Catholic, because these people came, the conquistadors came to destroy you. These are the enemies of your people, right? Come on, read that again. Read that last part.
And one of us, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
So that's how you got destroyed, because you no longer knew your name. You didn't know your language. You didn't know any of your traditions. So now you're destroyed. You understand? So what are we here to do? We're here to do what? Try to bring him back. Give you the knowledge so you can start living correctly. Living the laws of God. A lot of us go to church. You know, we do have a little fear of God. We say, man, we try to go to church. But church is a lot. Because although they have the same book, they don't teach you, hey, brother, you're Puerto Rican, so that means you're from the tribe of Ephraim. You an Israelite, brother. You a Hebrew. You are the real Jew. They don't say that. They're telling you you're the Gentile. And the Jewish people with the curly hair, they're the real Jews. No, that's a lie.
How do you say the word?
Ephraim. Okay? That's the people, that's the so-called Puerto Ricans right now. Yeah. Of course, there's no question. And when you hear black, when you, like, we don't have the book today, but we showed the ancestors of the so-called Puerto Ricans, black is charcoal. But the question is why? People say, oh, how they switch, how did they change? Why do we all look different? Why we got some brothers who look like this? We got some brothers looking lighter. We got some brothers looking very dark. We're going to show you something about Puerto Rico right now, real quick. Check this out. Give me Hosea. 7 and 8. Show you something real quick. Because when the northern kingdom of Israel, that's the so-called Hispanic tribe, for lack of a better word, we're going to call it northern kingdom. If you can follow that. Northern kingdom is the Hispanic tribes, right? Which start from Ephraim all the way down. Okay? When they were under slavery in Assyria, this is what was going on. Read this.
Hosea chapter 7 verse 8. Ephraim, he that mixed himself among the people.
Said Ephraim mixed himself amongst the people. Ephraim is Puerto Rico and the rest of the tribe. Read.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Ephraim is a cake not turned. So when you're making a cake, let's say you got a cake, right? What side? Tell me the colors of one side and tell me the colors of the other side. The one that's exposed to the fire. Brown. Right. Right, exactly. So you got one side very light, one side very dark. This is what the Lord is telling you. So when you see in that range, don't get thrown off like, oh, it's not my people. No, it's not that. It's just different colors, different shades. You understand? Give me Jeremiah 12 and 9. Listen to this. The Lord gave us a lot of clues. God gave us a lot of clues. So we just gotta what? We gotta exactly. And start to do what? Keep the laws and come back. Come on, read that. 12 and 9.
Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
So the Lord said, my heritage, meaning the Israelites are unto me as a speckled bird. When you look at speckled birds, they all have different colors, but they're the same species. This is what the Lord telling you. Don't get twisted. This is your brother right here. Don't get it confused. Right. Don't get crazy about that. Oh, his hair's a little different and all that. Don't get crazy about that. Read that again.
Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
Right. That's it on that, right? You got more? Come on.
The birds round about are against her.
Right. It says the birds round about are against her. Because the rest of the beasts out here, they're against the Israelites. That's how come our people can't get us so far. We in sports and entertainment and all of that. But now when it's time for us to rise up in the business world, there's always a problem. See, there's always some issue. Because the sports and stuff, we entertaining like little animals, right? We jumping through hoops. But now when it comes time for us to really get together as men and say, listen, we want to take back this community. We're going to run this store. I'm sorry, Korean man, you got to go home now. Chinese man, we're taking it. Now it's a problem. You understand? But we got to come back to that understanding. We're going.
Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour.
All right? So where were we before? We were in... I want to go back to something. Which one? Yes, please. Thank you. Deuteronomy 28:47. Thank you. All right? So what I want to do, I want to go back to the curses. That I just showed you how our people, how we are the same people. With the Lord, how He described it. There's many more. You know, we do an abbreviation class, right? Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 47. because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Right. So the Lord was saying, because you didn't serve me with joy, meaning that when I gave you these commandments, when I gave you these holidays, you didn't want that. You ran to the next nation. Now you got Christmas. Now you got Easter. All this ain't got nothing to do with God. Nothing. Even our birthdays that we celebrate, the Lord said, don't do that. When you read the book of Job, he killed Job's whole family because of what? Because of celebrating birthdays. I mean, that wasn't the main focus was to try to prove something. Because Satan was coming after them. But because they were celebrating those birthdays, that was the beginning of their demise. Exactly.
He wasn't going to turn against him.
Exactly. Right.
That's why Job came through all of that.
Exactly.
Picking Job and all of that.
Exactly. But at the same time, he didn't even put Job's kids to death for nothing. See, the Lord is not a wicked Lord. So it's just that he was showing them mercy before. But when that time came, he put them to death because they were breaking the law. You understand? So give me verse 50.
Verse 50, a nation of fierce continent, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. A nation of fierce countenance, meaning what? Shall come against you. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce continent, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
Stop. So that those people, right? Those so-called what's known as the Bible is the Edomites, so-called white man. When they came and put you into slavery, they didn't show any regard for the babies. They didn't regard any old people. They put the kids to death. We got a picture right here. Where's the one where they were slamming the babies? Look at this. See this? They were taking the babies, these are conquistadors over in, yes. And they took the babies of the so-called Hispanics and were smashing them against trees. Okay? This is what was going on. And they did that all over the world to our people. And this is why the Bible says they don't regard the young or the old. Come on.
Verse 51, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
No, I don't want that. Give me 68.
Verse 68, Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So it says the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. So Egypt, right? Remember, the Israelites were in slavery in Egypt at one time, right? But they never went back a second time. So this is what? This is called a symbolism, right? So what is the symbol of Egypt? Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. Because when you read the scriptures, you have to go precept upon precept. Everything means something. You just have to know where to find it. All of the words are defined. So now what does Egypt? Did you see that also in Revelation? But we never went back to Egypt. Nobody's back there. Look, check this out. Come on.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right. So Egypt is known as the house of bondage. Okay, so in other words, captivity. That's what God will give us, captivity. Because our people spent 400 years in captivity in Egypt. Okay? So now the Lord said, I'm going to send you back to Egypt, meaning back into captivity. And what?
Again with ships.
So what?
Into Egypt again with ships.
So the question is this: who went to slavery on ships? What's your name, sis? Yeah. Anna? Let me ask you a question. Do you know a little bit about history? Do you know about history? You know history? Okay. Who went into slavery on ships? Exactly. Now the question would be, so how did the Hispanics, did they go into slavery on ships? The answer is yes. But here it is. The Hispanics went into South, Central, and North America and the Caribbean, right, early on when they left from Assyria. When the conquistadors came and Christopher Columbus came, guess what he did? He took the Hispanics from there and went back the other way. He took them to Europe. Okay? That's when you hear a story about Pocahontas. You know about Pocahontas? Pocahontas went into, they had her as a damn prostitute in Europe. That's the real story. Okay? That's the real story of Pocahontas. That guy John Smith, where they make it all cute in Disney, he took her right back to Europe and had her as a prostitute over there. This is the reality. So when you see these cartoons and stuff, it's all nonsense. Where are you from?
Oh, okay. All right, just keep it like that.
It's what? It's the tribe of Issachar. You are Israelites according to the Bible. Okay? That's how your people. Give me on Sirach chapter 13 and verse 4. Right? How did the Mexicans get to... Second else, G, I want that. How did the Mexicans get to Mexico? That's the question. People say, no, the Mexicans, they're really Chinese. They came over the Bering Strait and they climbed over the ice bridge. That is a complete lie. Even when you speak to scientists today, they know it's impossible. How would you eat going over ice? There's no food there. It's impossible. We're going to show you in the Bible, okay? This is called the Apocrypha. These 14 books were originally inside your Bible. You can find it today. If you go to Barnes & Noble, you order the 1611 version Bible. These 14 books will be in the Bible. In the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, it shows you how the Mexicans and all the other so-called Spanish-speaking tribes, how they got to this side of the world. Come on.
2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40.
Come on.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Solomon the king of Assyria led away captive.
Right. So there was a time when the northern kingdom, which the tribe of Issachar, which is the Mexicans, right? The tribe of Issachar plus all the other tribes were in slavery underneath Assyria, right? Then they were given liberty to leave or stay. They could be free now. But the liberty was given, you can either leave here or you can stay here. This is what you're listening to right now.
And he carried them over the water, and so came then into another land. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves.
So now the whole northern kingdom of Israel, okay, which was your forefathers, which is the tribe of Issachar and the rest of the tribes, did what? Took a counsel amongst themselves, come on.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Right, and they went into a further country and said, we're going to get together and go into a further country where mankind never dwelt. So remember, at this time, people only lived on the eastern hemisphere. No one was over here in the Americas as yet, but they knew about it. They said, listen, we're going to go somewhere far where mankind never dwelt. Come on.
Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Right, because they were never able to keep the commandments like God gave them in their own land. Why? Because you're always in slavery under the Assyrians, under Egypt. You had to do just like we're in America now. We do what America says to do. We can't do anything different, really. You can, but it's not nationally recognized. Listen to this, come on.
Verse 43, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river.
They entered into Euphrates.
And they enter into Euphrates.
Euphrates River, okay? That's so we don't have our map. I don't know where the map is, but in the map you can see where they came through the Euphrates out of Assyria into the Euphrates River with ships, okay? Come on.
Verse 44, for the Most High, they showed signs for them, and hell filled the flood.
Stop. So when they went out of the Euphrates would take you around the whole Africa. They went around the whole South Africa, the tip, what they call the Horn of Africa. They went around that, and then as they were going in, it says the Lord held still the flood, meaning that where all of the oceans connect. Now, if you know anything, your people are from Mexico. The Mexicans are known to do what? Be able to read the stars well, okay? They were the ones that was reading the stars and going into that part of it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, this is a book called Yucatan, before and after the conquest, right? So now on page 8, it says provinces of Yucatan, its principal ancient. Let me read it. It said, some old men of Yucatan say that they have heard from their ancestors that this country was peopled by a certain race who came from the east, whom God delivered by opening for them 12 roads through the sea. If this is true, all of the inhabitants of the Indies must be of Jewish descent. That's what they call it, Jewish descent, because they know that some people got there from where? Assyria. In the Bible, they all know this history, okay? Of Jewish descent, because the Straits of Magellan having been passed, they must have spread over more than 2,000 leagues of territory now governed by Spain. Okay, thank you, bro. Right?
Sorry, I got a
You gotta go? Let me, one last part I gotta read to you. One last part, you gotta hit it. This is what it's gonna let you know. Come on.
Verse 45.
That's it.
But through that country there were a great way to go.
It says for that country there was a great way to go. Because remember, it says Columbus thought he was trying to find India. But everybody knew where India was because India was already in the Persian Empire. So it was no, what do you call it? Discovery about India. Everybody knew where that was. He was going here. It's gonna show you, come on.
Namely, of a year and a half.
So it took you a year and a half to get over to this side of the world from the east. Come on.
And that same region is called Arsareth.
That same region is called Arsareth. Now let's get the meaning of Arsareth, then you can go. Listen to this. This is in the Jewish Encyclopedia, okay? The Jewish Encyclopedia, anybody can find this online. It says, the name of the land, Arsareth, that same word we read, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration. Columbus, Christopher Columbus, identified America with this land, letting you know that Christopher Columbus way back then already knows where he was coming to. So I want to let you know today that you're not Mexicans. You're from the tribe of Issachar. That's your name, and you're an Israelite. According to the Bible, you are from the people of Israel. You're not Hispanic. You're not Spanish. You're not none of that. You're from the nation of Israel. Understand that.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates on all our YouTube channels. Shalom.